Okay. If you want to strengthen your bum and your legs, chances are you do a lot of sitting. So if you're weaker on the hip extensors, which is the back of the leg and the bottom, you want to do a little bit of butt work, like walking up hills and generally doing a lot of loading on your hips. But also what you want to do is you want to lengthen out the front of your hip flexors. So you've got your psoas muscle and your iliacus muscle and various other muscles that span from the pelvis to the top of the thigh. So a really good exercise, or a really good opener for your hips is coming onto your back and just opening up here, squeezing the back of your legs and just feeling the stretch. And what you've got is you've got this opening up, and it will eventually start to lengthen through the front of the hips as you hold it here. And just keep squeezing the back of the legs and release it down. And then we're going to come back up again. So we're really going to think about opening up, keeping that tailbone up to the ceiling as you stretch open the front of the hips, and hold it here for as long as you can. And then slowly releasing it back off again. Another position is to come onto your front, and you can rest a towel underneath your hips, but the pubic bone stays on the floor. And just open up the hip this way and hold it here. And just feel the lengthening through the front of the hips open up. Careful not to sit in that lower back. Again, keep a little towel just underneath these hips if you feel your lower back is, you're sitting in your lower back a little bit. Another one as well is you can pop your forehead down onto one of the hands. Bring the arms back, draw the foot in towards the hip, making sure the hip stays behind, the knee stays behind the hip, and opening up the front of the thighs. Releasing it off, you do the other side, and release it off. And then as you come up, you can add a little bit more of a dynamic stretch as you step forward and lower yourself down. It really opens up the front of those hips. Taking the arms up for a good stretch, and you can add in a little spine stretch as well. And then you do that both sides, really opening up, focusing on the front of the hip here, so these hip flexors. And this is really good to do if you do a lot of sitting, if you tend to sit in an office or sit in a car for a lot of the day. And then you can add in a little bit more work into the back of the hips, taking it into forward and backward lunges. Taking the arms up or keeping the arms down to the side of the hips as you come down and press up. So over time, if you do lots of opening up through the front of the hip, and then you do lots of bottom work as well, then you've got a good balance.
What do you think, Layla?
Good.
Okay.